Lunchbox talked to Megan Maroney yesterday. Hey, Morgan, he did a Would You Rather. Was he doing that with everybody?
So I had this idea to put together like a Would You Rather video and kind of compile them all of everybody answering the same Would You Rather question. And I had told him about that, but he was like, that's not gross enough. You need that to be more.
That's not gross enough?
Yeah, hers was kind of boring.
He was like, that's lame. And I said, first of all, I don't need these people to be like offended by what we asked them.
Or who do you want to watch the video? Like, who's your audience for the video? Garbage Pail Kids?
I just think when one has to put a thought into the Would You Rather, it makes it more interesting.
I would agree with that, but
Thank
you
you.
said gross.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
All of his involved bodily fluids. Like, there was not a single one he pitched that wasn't like bodily something.
What did you want it to be? Do you remember?
I just wanted it to be funny while also not like super gross.
Okay.
Just a
And
mix of both.
you didn't really have one that you wanted.
No, and that's why I'd asked him. And so he did. The one I still use still involved bodily fluids, but I felt it was at least more appropriate for the artist to answer.
So here is Lunchbox asking some would say inappropriate.
I would say I went rogue. I said, Morgan, I'm not going to do your Would You Rather. I'm going to do mine.
To Megan Maroney.
To
Okay.
Megan Maroney, yeah.
Let's see if it's inappropriate. Go ahead.
I want to know, would you rather pee out your nose or poop out your ear?
Pee out my nose, for sure.
Huh, interesting. Because I feel like you'd have that smell there forever, and it was just like if some dripped.
Well, if you're hydrated.
That's a great point. Didn't think about that.
Okay.
You're lucky she's cool.
Yeah. And the way he's like a doctor, interesting.
Interesting you would say that.
It's like he wants
she did have a good
5-year-olds
point.
to watch our video.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a very good point about not if you're hydrated. I was like, oh, that's, valid. But
Even
most,
if you're not
I
hydrated, I
just
would
don't
choose
think
that.
that's well.
Really?
We're not doing the Would You Rather. We're actually doing the. It's funny,
thank you.
but it's also gross.
I didn't think it was that bad. I think it's like
Okay.
artists want to have fun when they come to these interviews.
But your whole thing was it wasn't gross enough.
Well, you're right. Because you want them to think like, ugh.
Also, I'd rather pee out my nose all day long.
Yeah.
You're
Now
crazy.
you're playing it?
No, only because Amy tried to get. Yeah, I just want to honor her.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'd poop out my ear.
I'd poop out my ear.
Ew,
Yeah.
what is... what is
100%.
I don't want to smell that.
This
I don't
is
want to.
just-
but I don't think I would ask I don't know how old she is, 24-year-old female that I really don't know, who's an artist who's
good
walking
point.
up and being like, "Hey, would you take a poop out your ear?" I hear you are you, and we love that about you.
Thank you.
Another. Okay, it's Bird. It's a plane. It's Captain Cringe.
Is that me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
man.
Okay,
This is
we're
about
doing that
you.
again. All right.
So here's the original clip of the Uber driver calling us, talking about he had some artists in his car. Here you go.
Hey, Maddie and Tay.
Both of them and their I guess their manager. It was rain like today was rain. Only took like a couple blocks.
How about them? They tip?
They didn't tip. It was just a small ride.
Oh.
It was. I mean, I was glad to help them get them out of the rain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but when they're in your car, do you say, hey, will you sing me a song?
I don't do that.
Oh.
I just carry on a conversation like you and I are right now, brother.
So you don't act like they're celebrities?
Nope.
Ah, gotcha.
So here's the guy, not really trying to start any drama. He's like, very short ride. I don't know if they tipped or not, but he said no. But then Lunchbox goes to them and goes, "You didn't tip."
Oh, no.
I wanted to get to the bottom of it. Like, why didn't they
He
tip?
doesn't want you to get to the bottom of it. He's actually happy they were in the car.
I hear that.
Yeah.
But you want to know, like, you guys
Interesting. Okay, here we go.
what kind of tippers were they? Oh, well, it was them and someone from their record label, and it was raining outside, and it was only a couple blocks, but they didn't tip. And so I just want to know, what's up with that, Maddie and Tay?
Dude, we are 20%ers all the time.
And
So
when
management.
if you're just going a couple blocks, it's okay.
I'm just telling
But
you
it
what
was
he said,
raining.
so I just want to know what was up, Maddie and Tay. But you
Man.
guys are good tippers, though?
Oh, yeah, I go
Oh,
20%.
absolutely.
20% minimum.
Makes me
So
feel
sorry
weird.
to that guy.
Yeah,
I know.
you heard it here first. Maddie and Tay
I'm going to give him
apologize, man.
$20. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Maddie and Tay
we're
make
great
public apology to Uber driver that we didn't tip on the
tip.
few blocks.
Yeah.
You even said the story wrong back
Yep.
to them. You don't even get your facts right when you say things.
What do you
to
mean?
them. There was nobody from the record label.
No, there was. He
did say there was a record
that.
label.
He said management
Well,
or
whatever.
manager.
Oh, yeah.
That's not the same thing.
Oh.
It's just not the same thing at all. So it is.
Well, I don't think he knows. I think he just sees.
And you don't either.
I don't know what the difference is.
Right. There's a big difference, but you don't either. But you're repeating stuff back that wasn't even said to you.
But what I take from that is that's probably who was paying for the Uber. And
For sure.
and they're like, oh.
That makes sense.
You know, and they both gasped.
But if you're going to call somebody out, you at least got to get the facts right.
And there was a misrepresentation when he said the Uber driver goes, and they didn't tip.
Oh, the whole thing's a misrepresentation. Because Uber driver was not even upset.
No.
The best part was like 5 minutes after this, Lunchbox walked off. Like he stirred the pot and just ran off, right? Well, after they're going up to their team like, hey, who was that? We need to like find this Uber driver. We need to figure out what happened. And for like 5 minutes, they're sitting there trying to figure it out because they feel really bad.
God.
And I was like, guys, it's okay. Like genuinely,
He just
it's
is starting
okay.
crap. Yeah.
And they were
Whoa,
adamant about
hold
trying
on.
to figure it out.
I don't think I'm starting crap.
You are.
We had
The guy was not upset.
It was a follow up. It's like a news story. You know, you go and you report on something, and then you come back.
But you didn't
hey,
even report the facts to them right.
News Channel 26, and we got a follow up on that story we did last week. We talked to the guys that
I hear
broke
you.
into the house, and we find out why.
CMA Awards live tonight, 8, 7 Central on ABC. Stream the next day on Hulu.
I just
So you're
thought-
doing like Lunchbox on your side.
exactly.
Gotcha,
I thought it was a good little follow up. I
That's
knew.
funny. LB on your side.
It's a Bobby Bones show.